Hi all, hello. Myself, Dr. Krishna Kumar KL. I'm going to do a video tutorial on the topic Wolff-Kishner reduction. So in this particular presentation, I will be covering what is Wolff-Kishner reduction and its synthetic importance along with the reaction mechanism. I am making this PowerPoint presentation. I'm making this as a PowerPoint presentation, so I feel like it will be more presentable. Let me start sharing my PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, here we go with the Wolff-Kishner reduction. Let me start with the introduction part. So who discovered Wolff-Kishner reduction? As the name indicate, it is discovered independently by N. Kishner and L. Wolff. That is Nikolai Kishner and Ludwig Wolff in 1911 and 1912 respectively. So this reaction is used for reduction of carbonyl compounds into corresponding alkanes in the presence of hydrazine and base. So this reaction happen in the presence of hydrazine and base. Usually a stronger base like hydroxide ion is used. And also this reaction happen in the presence of moderate temperature, nearly 200 degrees Celsius. And for this reaction to happen, different variations of solvent can be used, but generally ethylene glycol is used as a solvent. Before we proceed with the further details of this reaction, I just want to draw your attention into one thing, that is its similarity with the Clemmensen reaction. Or else we can say that this Wolff-Kishner reaction and the Clemmensen reaction are complementary to each other. Where in case of Clemmensen reaction, we do the reduction of aldehydes and ketones to corresponding alkanes in the presence of zinc, mercury, and HCl. Like we can say more acidic condition. The reduction happened in the presence of acidic condition, and that particular reaction was good for the compound which are tolerant to acid. When it comes to the Wolff-Kishner reduction, here we do the reaction in moderatively basic condition by using hydroxide ion as base. So the compounds which is sensitive to acids can be reduced. The carbonyl compounds which is sensitive to acids can be reduced by using Wolff-Kishner reduction. Let me move into the next slide. So here is the reaction. A carbonyl compound. Here I am showing the structure of a ketone. A ketone, when it is treated with hydrazine, that is NH2NH2, let me annotate so that it will be more visible to you. Yeah, a ketone is converted into alkane. C double bond O is converted into CH2 through the formation of a hydrazone. This is the structure of hydrazone. The ketone reacted with hydrazine, and we know that when ketone react with hydrazine, it will form hydrazone, but the resulting hydrazone later reduced into alkane in the presence of heat. So as I said earlier, normally we will be using a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius to perform this reaction. So what is the purpose of hydrazine? Hydrazine, when we use, hydrazine will undergo a nucleophilic addition reaction. It will attack on the carbonyl carbon. And we all know this because carbonyl carbon is a compound which have a partial positive charge on carbon. Naturally, the hydrazine can add over the carbonyl carbon and it can give rise to hydrazone. What happened next? We are using a base. So you have to understand one point. Base here we are using to abstract the proton, or we can say that base we are using here to grab the proton. Base we are using for deprotonation. All right. So when we use hydroxide ion as a base, it will grab a proton, means the resulting compound will be water. Okay, the resulting compound will be water along with the formation of anions on the hydrazone fragment. Okay, and we have water also. From the resulting water molecule, water can dissociate into H plus ion and can add over this anion. So our aim, our interest is to create anions over here so that the resulting water molecule can dissociate into H plus ion and can get added over here. You understand? Okay, let me explain one more time. Here is a reaction. This carbonyl compound, here I took ketone, is allowed to treat with the hydrazine. It will be converted into hydrazone. Okay, later this hydrazone is reduced with the help of a base to form alkane. So base used here is hydroxide ion, OH minus ion. So what is the purpose of base? Base has to grab protons. That means base is used to do the deprotonation reaction. So when base do such deprotonation, it will give rise to the formation of water, H2O. Okay, along with the formation of, for example, if base grab one proton from here, what will happen here? One minus charge result here, along with the formation of water molecule. Now water molecule can dissociate into H plus ion and OH minus ion, and H plus ion can add over different place wherever there is a anion formed. And our aim is to remove, later our aim is to remove this nitrogen fragment, that is hydrazone fragment, and also to create an anion on the carbon atom so that the H plus from water can easily add over there. All right, so now let me proceed with the mechanism part. So you have to understand one thing, this reaction have a greater importance in the drug synthesis, because drug synthesis always is a multi-step process and involves the formation of many intermittent compounds. And we need to facilitate drug synthesis in a pathway which we prefer. So we can use these carbonyl substrates as intermittent compound to develop our desired product so that we can continue the reaction. So once the purpose of this carbonyl substrate is over, they can be reduced back to alkane. So this is how we are using the Wolff-Kishner reduction in the synthetic pathways. So now we will look on the mechanism aspect of this reaction. Okay, here we can see the ketone. Here I start with the ketone and end by formation of alkane. So hydrazine NH2 NH2. Nitrogen atom have the pair of non-bonding electron, so it can easily attract the carbonyl carbon because it can act as a nucleophile. The hydrazine NH2 group can act as a nucleophile since it have one pair of non-bonding electrons of nitrogen. So naturally attack will happen here, and the C double bond group, carbon have a partial positive charge and oxygen have a partial negative charge. This is due to inductive effect, which we are already familiar. So attack will happen here. So when attack happen here, this double bond O, the pi electrons will be shifted over to oxygen atom, that we can see over here. And nitrogen will get a plus charge because non-bonding electrons of nitrogen had been used. So nitrogen will get a plus charge. Now base come to the picture. I already said that hydroxide ion is the base, and base, what is its purpose? To abstract or to grab proton. So it grabbing the proton from here. That means hydrazine means NH2 NH2. So OH minus ion grab the proton from here. So that leaves this pair of electron to nitrogen atom. Because this molecule is now unstable. See, any organic molecule, it will try to attain stability by neutralizing the charge. So this molecule is unstable because it has two charge species, O minus and En plus. So it will try to neutral the charge. For that, base is helping it by a deprotonation reaction. Now, resulting compound again have a ionic existence only. Oxygen have one minus charge, but the charge on the nitrogen is neutralized because the OH is grabbing this proton and the pair of electron over here will be moving on to the nitrogen. So that gives this molecule. All right. Now, when OH minus grabs this proton that result into the formation of water molecule. Now, as I said earlier, this water molecule can give rise to H plus ion. That H plus ion will be added over this oxygen minus to get OH. Now look at here. We have a stable molecule. But at the same time, we have a water here. The water dissociate into H plus and one more OH minus is there. So that OH minus will act on the second hydrogen atom of this nitrogen. Earlier, one hydrogen atom has been grabbed by this hydroxy ion. Now the second hydrogen atom also is going to get grabbed by this hydroxy ion. So that will leave a pair of electron on nitrogen, and later the pair of electron can shift over here. So that makes this hydroxy ion a better leaving group. Earlier, you know that hydroxide ion is not a very good leaving group, but in the presence of base, the base which is regenerated from water, what happened? The base can grab this proton, it can take up this proton, and the pair of electron will be shifting over here. And once this carbon nitrogen double bond result, naturally that makes this OH a better leaving group. This OH will go out. Okay, so you have to understand our base is again getting regenerated. The base got regenerated as OH minus here. All right. So now, along with the formation of water, because the OH minus resulted from here grabs this proton, formation of water along with liberation of or regeneration of base here. Now we got a resulting molecule R C double bond N R1 NH2. Now the base which is left over here again come to the picture. It grabs this proton also. That is proton of second nitrogen atom. Earlier two protons were there, so that is took away from the nitrogen atom by using the base. Now the base grabs the second nitrogen atom's proton. So when these hydrogen atoms are gone away, the pair of electron which is present over here can come inside. This can move over here. Then there is a possibility of a resonance. That means this pair of electron come over here. This pair of electron can go to the carbon. This is what we want actually. As I said earlier, we want to generate the carbanions. We want to generate anions with respect to carbon atom. That is our purpose, so that only we can add H plus ions. So now, because of resonance, it resulted into the formation of a carbanion. You can look at here. With the elimination of one water molecule. How the elimination of water molecule happened? Because base which left from here grabs this proton and go out as H2O. Okay. All right. So now what happened? We got a structure like this. All right. So from this structure, this is a carbanion. Now again the water comes because water is eliminated here. So water can dissociate into H plus ion, and H plus ions dissociated over here will be added over this carbanion. So now our first step is completed. That is addition of one hydrogen atom to the carbon. But again you have to understand, when this H plus is generated from this water, our base is regenerated, OH minus. OH minus is there. Now that OH minus, what it will do, it will take up the second hydrogen also. Earlier one hydrogen is being grabbed in the first step. Okay, now in second hydrogen also being taken up by this OH minus ion that is left behind now. Now what happened? This pair of electron will be moving to here, and this pair of electron will be moving to here. That ultimately result into our second carbanion along with the formation of N triple bond N. Because nitrogen as nitrogen gas have better stability, so it can be bubbled up from the reaction mixture. It can go out from the reaction mixture, leaving the pair of electron to carbon with the formation of N triple bond N. So now again the carbon have the minus charge. Okay, but the water formed here can dissociate into H plus, and that H plus will be added over here, and OH minus will remain chemically unchanged at the end of the reaction to give our desired product, that is alkane. So again, we can call this mechanism as a carbanion mechanism. And the most important thing, you have to, couple of things you have to keep it in your mind, that we are using hydrazine in order to convert the compound into hydrazone. Later, by using base means hydroxide ion, we are performing the deprotonation reaction. Once deprotonation happens, the base is converted into water, and water can dissociate into H plus ion, and the resulting anions are again protonated with the help of that H plus ions. So protonation, deprotonation happening again and again, over and over, to bring out our desired product, that is alkene. So this is how Wolff-Kishner reaction works. Thank you.